For more on Chinese football, I'm joined now by Andrei Markovits. He's the co-author of 2 soccer books. He's also a professor at the University of Michigan and worked extensively on comparative sports cultures. The Chinese Super League gained a lot of attention just a few years ago, as you well know, mega transfers for players from Europe who were not yet heading into the twilight of their careers, but now some of them leaving. What are we witnessing right now? What do you make of these exits?
Well, I think what I'm making of the exits is the predicament that China has in terms of its soccer. It clearly is on the path of becoming an important soccer country, but it's not there yet. And this is a very, very long road. And it will take time to develop, but I'm quite sure that in the next 25 to 30 years, China will actually become a very viable and very good soccer nation as well. But it's a mixture of demand and supply. Supply is that you need the facilities, you need the infrastructure, which is one thing. And the other thing you also need, of course, is the demand, which is the interest. And the interest is there, but the interest is, of course, spawned by quality. And the quality of the game, of course, resides in Western Europe, particularly in 5 leagues. And that's the core of the sport. That's the center of the sport. And typically, it is, in fact, the center that dictates what quality is. And I think what will be very important for China to develop as a soccer nation is that at some point, Chinese players really play in Europe in these top 5 leagues. Look at what happened. Very important. It can't be only Europeans or people from the core that go to the periphery. That's important. But even more important is to go from the periphery to the core. Look at how a comparable country to China in terms of being a global superpower in everything, but not in soccer, is the United States. And in the United States, just like in China, a major power, even in sports, but in fact in soccer, kind of a minnow. And in the periphery.
Well, that's interesting, Andrei. I'm just curious. You know, when you look at these big names, though, they're recruited to really raise the standards of Chinese football. As you said, it's a long process, a long road. Did this experiment help in some regards?
Oh, absolutely. It helps, but it's not enough. This is basically the stage which the United States had in with the North American Soccer League between 1967 and 1985, where all the greats of the game at some point played in this league. Clearly on their descending trajectory, which was not the case with all the Europeans who played, or the Latin Americans who played in China. But the tendency is clear that the very, very best of the best always want to play in the core. They want to play with the best. And so it's absolutely imperative. Where I was going before you asked the question is that look at the United States. Now, for the first time, we have excellent players playing in Barcelona, in Chelsea, at the big league, big Dortmund, Bayern, whatever, and it really has spawned a phenomenal interest in the game here. What I call in my book, Gaming the World, what I call the Nowitzki effect, meaning basketball in Germany was completely unimportant until one Dirk Nowitzki played for the Dallas Mavericks and won an NBA championship. Basketball became hugely popular. The same with Tony Parker in France, and on and on and on. Yes. So what is important is that a great Chinese player make it with one of the top clubs in Europe, and that will translate phenomenally in terms of the interest in China.
Well, Andrei, we're going to have to end it there. We're just got to find our Yao Ming of soccer. Thanks so much for joining us.
Exactly.
Appreciate
Yao
it.
Ming of soccer.